This is my third session with Castor on doing prep for vaccines. So I'm doing the same process here. I'm going to add in a little bit more of just details for as far as getting the shot. And then I'm going to be doing more of like a critique on myself, a little bit what not to do kind of a thing, because I feel like I did a little bit better in the previous video. I think I just did it a little too much. So like really like that was really perfect. I think I'm just using my finger there, not the needle. Um, but um, he's doing great. Like he's not moving his head up. He doesn't look super tense. He looks really great. So that's what I want first. So I'm just kind of tapping him with my finger. So my goal for when I go ahead and vaccinate him is I can use both hands. I can pinch the skin up and then I can tap with the vaccine once or twice and then pop it in, give him the vaccine. So that's what I'm doing here is just working on just tapping him with my finger to kind of mimic that. And then I do have like a little sewing needle that I'm just kind of using to kind of mimic that. And you can use like the end of like a straightened out paper clip or something like that. But I'm just gonna fast forward through the eating part, so it's important to give him a moment like here, just chew this food, hang out, relax, and not ask him to do anything. So the biggest problem I have with this lesson that I did with him is I just did a little bit too much. Um, he was being really good, and I think I was a little bit too tense too because I'm like, oh, I have to give them their vaccines. I haven't really given a horse a vaccine before, and they're a Mustang, and so it was partly me being tense as well. But I just shouldn't have practiced it as much in one session, in one setting. So just a couple minutes would have been good, like probably at least half this point there. So I'm just tapping him, and now I'm poking him with that little needle. So I've already washed it off and I'm just trying to mimic it as closely as I can because it is going to hurt a little bit more. See there, he picked his head up. I'm still going to click and I'm going to feed. So my other problem I have is I'm not feeding every time. So I should have been feeding every time. The reasoning that I did here is because he's picked up his head. But I like with this process, he is going to be uncomfortable because it's an uncomfortable thing. It's not like everything else that I do. Like health procedures are going to be uncomfortable, so I definitely need to reward those very consistently and very highly because I want him to cooperate with me because it's a tough situation and it's not fun, of course. So those are the two things I would have definitely cut my time working in this in half at least, and I would have fed a lot more. So like a couple times I skipped a feeding in there, so definitely should not have done that. So because now you can tell when I just pet him, now he's like, oh, you're gonna poke me with something, and he's being great and he's being awesome. He's staying, but a lot of horses are not as forgiving as he is here. So definitely shouldn't have worked on it that much. Go in there, practice it a couple times, give him a great jackpot, leave, go do something else. You can come back that same day or in a few minutes or whatever, but I shouldn't have done it quite so long because now he's just kind of backtracking because I'm just poking him, poking him, poking him. So, and that's not what is necessary for actual vaccinating anyway. I should get it like once or twice. It shouldn't have been that many times. So he's just being a champ here, um, but that's the process. Is I'm just kind of tap him with my finger, then tap him with the needle because eventually I want to tap him with the needle a couple times and then pop it in. So that's my process there. And then once he's cool with, I can come up to him, rub him on the neck, tap him with the needle, and then kind of get him with it a little bit harder, like I'm mimicking a vaccine. Then I'm gonna use two hands, do that same process, and then I'm gonna hold it a little bit like the vaccine's going in, and then I pretty much have to just do it at that point and hope for the best. So that's kind of my whole process for doing the vaccine. You'll see I think I have a video of him doing it. I'm pretty sure I have a video of him doing it. I have one of Atlas at least, but um, I feel like the protected contact definitely helped him. He felt like he could leave if he needed to, and it's just not a fun procedure for either of us. So it did take a bit of time, but he did really well. That was a great response. He just kind of hung out there, so that was really nice. I'm just trying to prepare him as much as possible, but I feel like I get too focused on it, and I prepare a little too much, so I shouldn't have done that. And I also got a little too tense just because of the situation. So just stay relaxed and break up the sessions a little bit more.